Let's talk about 7/8. Not just 7/8, I want to kind of branch out a little bit and just talk about odd time signatures in general. But in this lesson, we are going to learn the groove that you heard at the front of this video, but I'm also going to give you a couple of tips on how to make odd time signatures feel more comfortable, how to make them feel more natural. All too often I hear other drummers, and you yourself have probably been in this situation. I know I was at one time, where they ask you to play in something like 5/4, and all you can come up with is like a 4/4 groove with one extra beat tagged onto the end of it. It sounds something like this. Okay, Professor Obvious, yeah, we're in 5, but that doesn't feel comfortable. To me, it feels like when a kid, have you ever seen a kid put on like a big pair of boots or a big pair of shoes, and they're walking around, they can't walk right, the shoes are dragging, like that's what it feels like when we as drummers try to approach an odd time signature that we're not comfortable with. Now, kind of the reason I'm on this topic is I'm about to start an 8-week series with the students on my website. And if you want to check out what I have to offer on the website, you can follow the link below this. We have a 7-day $1 trial going on. I would love for you to jump in because we're going to be going through a track called Mastering Odd Times. We are going to talk about as many odd time signatures as we can. Lessons, practice breakouts, sheet music, reading studies, as in-depth as we can go. We're going to talk about 3/4, 9/8, 5/8, 5/4, 7/8, 7/4, 11/8, maybe 15/16. I don't know. We're going to see where this thing takes us, but we're going to go in-depth with odd time studies. All right, so there's a couple of things you have to know when you approach an odd time signature, and that is that it's not 4/4. It's not what we're used to in Western music. So we don't need to put the heavy part of the beat on 2 and 4. We need to establish a new heavy part of the beat or a new central focus on that groove. And that's what I did with this groove in 7/8. That's tip number 1. Establish a new focus instead of 2 and 4, because if you establish 2 and 4 as the focus, then they're going to feel like it's in 4/4 and you're just adding some stuff on the front or the end of it. The other thing I like to do to make it feel more comfortable to the listener, and you'll hear a lot of drummers do this, especially in the studio, is I give them almost a rhythmic hinge point. So I give them an ostinato to grab onto. And in this one, you'll notice that this 7/8 groove spans 2 bars of 7/8. The only reason it does is because of the accent pattern that I'm doing in my right hand. I'm accenting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, why does that make the listener more comfortable? Because they're accustomed to hearing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. They're accustomed to hearing that ostinato. And so putting that in an odd time signature is going to instantly make them feel more comfortable. So now that I've given you a couple of things that I do to make odd time signatures feel more comfortable, let's dive into this groove. All right, so this groove is in 7/8. That means we count to 7. It's 7/8 notes per measure. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to be playing that unaccented for right now. We'll add the accents in a little bit. I'm going to be playing the 7/8 notes here on my hi-hat. And what on my hi-hat, if I can say it, hi-hat, this is hi-hat. And what I'm going to be doing is filling in the upbeats with my left hand. So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and. Now, do you count it E's since it's in 7/8, or do you count it ands? It doesn't really matter to me, whatever's more comfortable to you. What you should know is, though, that the left hand is filling in the upbeats. Once you have that grooving and it's feeling good, then we want to add one thing at a time. So we're going to add the kick drum. The kick drum comes on 1. It comes on the upbeat of 3, 4, 5, and the upbeat of 6. So if I was to clap that for you, it'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, we're halfway there. We're gonna make a couple of adjustments to our left hand pattern. So you know it was filling in all of the upbeats. We're gonna keep it doing that for the most part, but I wanna change a couple things. I wanna put an accent on the upbeat of 2 and on the downbeat of 6. Now the thing I want to take away, so we're going to subtract one thing, is I want to take away the upbeat of 6 in the left hand, because that's going to put me playing a ghost note into an accent and then another ghost note. Now that's not impossible to do, but playing the groove back and forth between the two, I found that sometimes subtraction's the best option. And so this time it cluttered up the beat whenever I kept that in there. So we're going to take away the upbeat on the left hand of beat 6. The only other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna diddle the upbeat of beat 7. So we're gonna make it a double instead of a single. Let me demonstrate that really slow. 5, 6, 7. You've paused the lesson, you've worked all that out, you got it rocking. Now we got to move on to the next thing. We've already established a center of the beat, so we've moved that from being like a regular 6/8 where you would hit that on maybe 4 of the 6/8. Now we're hitting it on the upbeat of 2 and the downbeat of 6, so that automatically makes it feel different than 6/8. Otherwise, we'd sound like we were playing 6/8 plus a beat, and then by default playing 7/8, but not in a really great way. So now what we want to do is add the other thing that's going to make it more comfortable for the listener and make it kind of gel a little bit better, and that's going to be the accent pattern. So what I want you to do is just what I explained at the front. I want you to accent the downbeat and then every other note, just like you were accenting 1 and 2 and 3. You'll find that this comes easier than you think. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it starts over. The bottom part of the beat, the snare and the kick drum, they stay the same. So the bottom part of the beat is really only 1 bar long. The top part, though, takes 2 bars to resolve. It's going to make the groove feel a little bit more comfortable. Just remember, odd time signatures are by nature odd because of the number of beats per measure, but they're only odd to us as drummers because we don't play them that often. The more often you play in an odd time signature, 5/8, 5/4, 7/8, 11/8, whatever it may be, the more comfortable you're going to get in that time signature. If you're looking to work through odd time signatures, this is the perfect time to jump into the lessons because we are about to destroy them. We are going to pick them apart, and I'm going to give so many resources, reading studies, and exercises for you to go through that you're going to be blowing through these by the end of it. If you haven't signed up for the email list yet, we've got 30 Days to Better Doubles as a free download. Follow the link below this. But whatever you do, I'll see you here in the next video.